the little girl encountered a white wolf in the forest, which startled her, but the wolf did not attack her. Zoe took a closer look and found out that the white wolf was trapped in a trap. Zoe decided to help it and took off her coat to attract its attention. She then carefully cut the rope with a knife. After being rescued, the white wolf left without even a word of thanks. Meanwhile, a lion cub had taken over the eagle's nest, and the eagle returned home to find it. The eagle immediately knocked the lion cub down, and it happened to fall into Zoe's arms. Zoe was stunned and looked around in amazement, not understanding why a lion cub had fallen from the sky. It was like winning the lottery today. The lion cub seemed scared and snuggled tightly in Zoe's arms. Helpless, Zoe could only carry it home like a baby. Upon arriving home, Zoe placed it on the sofa, but even more bizarre things were happening behind her. Just as she was about to close the door, the white wolf came in carrying a small wolf in its mouth without even saying hello. Zoe was very scared. She cautiously approached to check and found the white wolf lying quietly under the table. She thought she was having a nightmare. After calming herself down, she came to check again. At this time, the white wolf was nursing the small wolf, and the little lion also swaggered over. It also didn't treat itself as an outsider and plunged into the white wolf's arms without any hesitation. Eating heartily, the white wolf thought the lion was Zoe's pet, so it didn't refuse. Zoe consulted animal information with distress, while the two little guys, after eating their fill, wandered around Zoe. They were very well behaved, but a bit clingy. Zoe prepared a small nest for them, but they always ran into the house to sleep with Zoe. When Zoe was too busy to pay attention to them, they would play on their own. Fortunately, the two little guys didn't destroy the house. Living alone on the island was lonely, so it was nice to have them around. Anyway, there was a mother wolf to nurse them, so Zoe didn't have to worry about feeding the two children. Watching the two little ones play every day, Zoe hadn't been so happy in a long time. Whenever Zoe rested, the two little guys would quietly guard her. Zoe wasn't afraid at night anymore because there were 3 beasts in the house to protect her. One day, Zoe had to go to the city to take an exam. Before leaving, she left a window for the white wolf so that it could go out to hunt and come back to feed the children. Zoe passed the exam successfully and entered the symphony orchestra, but now she hesitated. If she left, what would happen to the 3 guys at home? Meanwhile, 2 bad guys came to the mountains and saw the white wolf hunting for food. They picked up a tranquilizer gun and pulled the trigger without hesitation. The white wolf fell to the ground. When Zoe returned home, she saw the hungry little guys had destroyed the house. Zoe kept calling for the white wolf and searched the entire mountain, but couldn't find it. So she had no choice but to take out some ham and feed the 2 little guys first. Watching them eat ravenously, Zoe didn't know how to raise these 2 meat-eating beasts on her own.
A few minutes later,
the little girl seemed to have discovered something in the forest and hurried to catch up, but stumbled and hit her head hard on a rock. Losing consciousness, a hungry wolf ran over, but instead of attacking Zoe, it rubbed against her. Then a lion also rushed over and just smelled her feet. Several hours passed, but Zoe still didn't wake up. The wolf and lion kept circling around her and never left. The 2 beasts howled and called for help, but there were few people in the forest, and no one came to help, so they stayed close to Zoe all night and never left. The next morning, Zoe's grandfather found her, seeing the 2 beasts standing majestically by her side from a distance. He was afraid to approach and could only call the police. Zoe was then taken to the hospital. When Zoe woke up, she learned that the wolf and lion she had raised were captured by the police. She was worried about their safety, so she secretly ran out of the hospital to find them. Zoe first went to the forest police station, but she couldn't see the wolf and lion. She was scolded and kicked out by the police for privately raising wild animals. She had raised the wolf and lion from a young age, and she wouldn't give up easily. Then she thought of the Endangered Animal Protection Center, and luckily, the white wolf was there, but the person in charge scolded her severely, blaming her for turning a white wolf into a pet. Wolves should have their own instincts. After hanging up the phone, Zoe began to doubt whether she should have adopted the 2 beasts. She felt very sad. Meanwhile, the lion was not doing well either. It was sold to a circus, and the boss wanted to train the wild animal to make money. After only a few days of training, the lion was forced to perform on stage with bright lights and noisy applause, which frightened it and made it cry out repeatedly. After surviving the first night, it was rushed to the next show. When the circus caravan passed by the white wolf's territory, the white wolf smelled the lion and wanted to save its brother. It first dug a hole under the fence, then followed the scent to chase the circus caravan. It caught up with the caravan at dawn and used the same trick as before to get close to the lion. But how to rescue the lion from such a sturdy iron cage? The white wolf studied and finally came up with a plan.
a few moments later.
Take a closer look. This white wolf is carrying a stick to help a lion escape from prison. It carefully approaches the cage and inserts one end of the stick into the cage, although the lion is mocking it. Seeing the wolf persistently trying, it has to cooperate and bite the other end of the stick. Together they exerted force, and with a snap, the stick broke. At this time, the circus boss came out, and the white wolf quickly hid and thought of another way. When the boss opened the cage, the white wolf quickly rushed up, leapt and knocked the boss down, and thus saved the lion. The two brothers ran out from the hole they had dug beforehand, reuniting after a long separation. Although they were apart for a long time, their bond remained unchanged. Then they went into the forest to find their owner. However, they got hungry on the way and saw the supermarket owner leaving. They entered the supermarket through the window and searched for food like wolves. The sound of the falling bottle woke up the security guard in the room. He was stunned when he saw them and quickly sounded the alarm. They calmly ate a meal before escaping in a hurry. They scared many residents when passing through the town. This incident spread, and the town's special police came out in force. The circus boss also rushed over after learning about it. Soon they found the lion first. The boss picked up a tranquilizer gun and aimed it at the lion. But suddenly the white wolf jumped out to block it. The injured boss had to give up, but the lion wanted to save the white wolf. But it was powerless. Their owner Zoe also arrived in the forest and used her own playing of the harp to attract the lion she had raised. Sure enough, the lion followed the sound of the harp and arrived there. Zoe was very happy to see it. The lion gestured for Zoe to follow it to save the white wolf. They came to a small wooden house, and the white wolf was revived at the moment it saw its owner. At this time, the special police were about to find them. Zoe led them to sneak away through a secret passage and emerged from a hole in a big tree. Their home was across the river, and they would be safe as long as they swam across. However, the police found the lion, which refused to step into the water. The lion resolutely decided to lead the police away. Zoe tried hard to stop it, but the lion turned its head and bid farewell to its owner and the white wolf. Then, it rushed into the forest. Zoe had no choice but to leave with the white wolf first. They had just swum for a while when they heard gunshots coming from the forest. When they reached the shore, they heard a series of gunshots from the forest. The white wolf felt very upset, and Zoe blamed herself for not saving the lion. Just then, there was suddenly some movement behind them, and a mighty lion walked out unscathed.